Right then, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got another customer car video for you. So this is a 330D, it's the G20 series, so the newer one. It's got the new B57 engine with a 8-speed ZF gearbox, and today we're going to be fitting a big turbo and water injection. So before we take a look at the parts that we're going to be fitting, we'll talk a little bit more about the B57 engine. So this is the single turbo model, although it says twin power turbo on the engine cover. Confuses a lot of people, but yeah, single turbo B57. We've tuned quite a few of these with the stock turbo, stock hardware, and usually do just over 300 horsepower. Obviously we're hoping for a little bit more with the turbo upgrade and the water injection. At the minute we don't have any fueling upgrades in terms of injectors or fuel pump for these. We can try a bigger metering valve and bigger rail pressure sensors to see if that makes a difference. We're hoping that the extra fuel from the water methanol gives us a little bit more power to go along with the turbo. So let's have a look at the parts. We'll start with the turbo. This is our 2872 turbocharger, pretty similar to the ones that we use on the N57 engines. We've done quite a few of them on the channel. If you're a subscriber, you'll probably seen them videos. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. We've seen roughly anything from 400, 450 horsepower from these turbos, so pretty good flowing. Stainless downpipe to go along with that. We've got blanking plates, all new gaskets and clamps, new filters, which we do whenever we're upgrading the turbo, and then the Stage 2 Snow Performance water methanol kit. So again, we've fitted quite a few of these to cars recently on the channel. I think the most recent one's probably as 125D. Watch that video if you've not watched that. Nice little controller, and hopefully that'll give us enough fuel to get a few extra ponies with the turbo. So rather than listening to me waffle on, we'll let Paul crack on with the install and we'll check back in when it's all fitted. Quick interjection while Paul's looking at another car in the other workshop. We didn't originally get an intercooler out for this because we didn't think we had one that matches the original part number. We have got a selection of BMW intercoolers on the shelf, so we've fetched a couple over. We did try the G30, which is like the 5 series intercooler. That didn't work, so we've got the F series B57 intercooler, and as you can see, it's on there. Not a perfect fit. The mounting positions are slightly different compared to the G series, but with very little persuasion, both of the screw holes have gone in. Both clip connectors on the intercooler have gone in, no problem at all. Wasn't hard, was it, Paul?
Nah, easy.
So this is the old one. We'll put a photo up of the new one that's gone in. Yeah, hopefully we can actually get like a proper direct replacement for this intercooler in the near future. But for now, at least we've got one on. Should perform a lot better for when it's on the dyno and when it's on the road with the new intercooler on. So that's the hardware done. Usually at this point in the video I'm stood at dyno telling you what power figures it's made, but unfortunately this time I've got no idea what power it's made at the minute. Set off to work this morning and somehow I've ended up a few hundred miles away in Europe. So if you can guess where I am, comment below. I'll give you a bit of a clue. I had pizza for dinner and a bit of wine. So I'm going to hand this back over to Ryan and let him continue the video back in England. So, ciao bellas. Buongiorno! As you can see, I am back from my little road trip, which was in Italy, and if you guessed Milan, you'd have been right. I am back in the dyno with the BMW. It's still here. We've had it a little bit longer than we wanted it. Matisse has had a few problems with the boost control, which has mean tuning has been a little bit difficult for him, but we're getting there now. We're pretty happy with the power figures, with the mods it's got at the minute. So let's have a look what we've got. So diesel only to start with, we are now on 412.8 horsepower and around 620 foot-pound of torque. And then with the water meth, we are now at 425.5 horsepower and 630 foot-pound of meth. So really happy with the results at the minute. Remember, this is still on the stock fuel system. So other than the 50% methanol with the meth kit, we're pretty much running the standard fuel pump, standard injector, standard metering valve, everything. So next on the list are the race camshafts. So we're going to leave this as it is now. We probably could get a little bit more out of it, but it just means more time on the dyno. We might as well get the cams in because it's not going to stay like this. We'll get the cams in and then we'll play about with the tune more with those, and hopefully we'll have some decent power figures by the end of it. 450 horsepower would be nice, but yeah, let's pull it out of the dyno, get back to Paul, get the cams fitted, and then we'll bring it back in and check back to see what we get later. So just before we pull this off the dyno, it's probably worth noting the water meth install on this. As far as water meth installs go on new cars, they can be quite difficult to find positions for the tanks and stuff like that. You end up making brackets, mounting them in the boot. It's not always ideal. You can't always get the jug in to fill them up, but this, really nice, easy location. Pretty much as easy as putting washer fluid in the car, and then we've got the CNC machined adapter plate, which hold the nozzle and the sensor for the kit. So yeah, as far as water meth installs go, pretty tidy this one. So, today's the day. The BMW's getting collected. It is done. We've got the power figures. It's been here a little longer than we wanted it. Obviously, it's new ECU. There's been limiters, boost control problems, stuff like that we've had to overcome. But it's done. Let's have a look what power figures we've got. So, diesel only. Before we put the cams in, 412.8 horsepower. You've already seen that when it was on the dyno. The green graph is now diesel only with the cams fitted, so that's like 2 horsepower more than what it did previously on the dyno with the water meth. And then the final peak power figures, 444.1 and 660 foot-pound of torque. So that's with the cams and the water meth. We said earlier it would have been nice to get 450 horsepower. There's probably a little bit more in this if we spent a lot more time just delving into the maps, maybe squeezing a little bit more boost out of it. But pretty sure the customer's going to be happy. We have got some draggy times on this one as well. I'll start with the invalid run, which was on a minus 1.88% slope, and that did a 9.2 100 to 200, so pretty quick. And then a valid run with a plus 1.54 slope, it did a 9.89. So on flat, probably looking 9.5 seconds, which is very respectable for 100 to 200 in this car. Obviously, it's new, it's pretty big, it's fully kitted out with all the technology, so it's probably not that light. But yeah, hopefully the customer's going to be happy. He's in reception now to collect it. Hopefully you've liked this video. Please click the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.